Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing COVID-19 testing. This has been an issue of major consternation amongst the expat community here in Thailand. There has been a lot of talk about the possibility that foreigners may be required to undergo COVID testing here in Thailand. Now, the thing to take away from this video, first of all, is it's not a foregone conclusion that this is even going to happen. I've done a pretty exhaustive video on COVID-19 and possible mandatory testing for foreigners. I urge you to go check that out on this channel. But the purpose of this video is to discuss it specifically in the context of work permits, and that seems like it might be something that could occur. Now, this is conjecture at this point. I have been working with the Thai legal staff here. They've sort of gone over all of this and they've approved of what I'm saying. But long story short, and this is for informational purposes only, I'm not a Thai attorney. I am an American attorney licensed. I'm a Thai citizen, naturalized Thai citizen. But the purpose of this video is to discuss the possibility of COVID-19 testing in the context of work permit application here in Thailand. And let's start from the known quantity, which is they currently already do certain health testing associated with work permits. So the notion that they could simply, by regulation, add COVID-19 to the list of things they test for, that is not outside the realm of possibility. And exactly how they would deal with that remains to be seen. It remains to be seen if they even would add it. But I think the thing to take away from this video is it could be added in the future. Now, what's the upshot of that? What does it mean to you, the viewer, the foreign national who has to deal with a business visa and work permit in Thailand? First thing is, don't get upset. Don't get worried about this. This is probably going to come up only when you need to go deal with your work permit renewal or you need to deal with your business visa extension or both. And under certain contexts, it could be both. For example, smart visas have their own regime. Things like the BOI deal with things a little differently. But long story short, do not fret about this immediately. The way we read the regulations, it doesn't mean every foreigner needs to line up. If they ultimately do say foreign nationals need a COVID test, it does not mean everybody needs to line up at a hospital tomorrow and start testing. Instead, where we think this is going to happen is when you need to go and deal with renewal of a work permit and a visa, or a visa, I should say. Yes, at that point you may, I stress may, because we don't see this as a requirement yet, although it could be, and it also could never be. But if it's going to happen, the way I think it's going to happen is when a renewal occurs, and it's not just me saying that. Again, the Thai legal team has looked at this as well. And in that event, you're going to be dealing with that at the same time you deal with medical certification for things like, it's on the list, things like leprosy, tuberculosis, syphilis, etc. I think elephantitis is even still on there. So how this plays out remains to be seen, but for those who are getting upset about this, please don't. I have gotten a lot of correspondence from people that are rather upset and they're worried about this and they don't know how to deal with it. It's not yet, to the best of our knowledge, the law. If it becomes the law, I think you're not going to have to deal with it from a practical perspective until you need to deal with renewal of your status here in the Kingdom of Thailand.